Ben, I'd like to hear you talk more about substance. What can we do right now rather than chiding progressives? I mean, honestly, the only thing that we can do right now is two things: is storm and on the phone lines, storm your senators and your congresspeople all day, every day, and let them know that you are going to oppose them in a significant fashion. But then the B side is this: we should be organizing for 2018. Every race, every single race down. I don't care if it's a local commission seat. We need to be actively organizing and getting candidates ready. So finding those candidates, grooming those candidates, getting them out in the streets so that we can have a full-on flip in 2018. Right? That's the only thing that we can do. Because the die has been cast. The only way that this is going to fail, the only way this tax plan is going to fail, today they were talking, the Senate parliamentarian rejected the revenue trigger amendment, which created a problem for at least Bob Corker. And there's like one or two, if we could pick out one or two senators like Bob Corker, and I'm saying this as they're on the Senate floor right now, but if we can influence them with a hailstorm of calls and opposition, I mean, that matters, particularly people from those districts, from those states, right? We saw that happen and if a senator understands, well, I actually have to back up because Bob Corker is not running again. He's stepping down. And so we have to find the people who we can hold politically accountable, right? So that's the only thing that we can do right now. We can't rewrite history. We can't go back and fix the fact that Donald Trump was elected and now he's packing the courts. We have to ride this out, but we have to stop the hemorrhaging as quickly as possible. And so I don't care. I don't really care what candidate it is. I don't care. But 2018, I mean, 2018 is a good chance. If you're talking about a third party, then you're talking about some congressional seats. There are some congressional seats that don't require $2 or $3 million to run for. You know, if you are so into the Green Party and you never want to touch the Democratic Party again, then put all your power and might and money and influence into running for a congressional seat or helping someone running for a congressional seat that's third party, right? Especially in some districts that are not necessarily threatened. And what I mean by that is, like, you know, if it's a possibility for us to flip that seat, I'm going to be honest with you. If it's a possibility for us to flip that seat from Republican to Democrat, then we need to flip that seat from Republican to Democrat, if for no other reason than to stop Donald Trump's agenda. But now there's some other districts where you can get your feet wet, that you can run up against a Republican, that you can run up against, I don't care, an establishment Democrat. It might be a safe Democratic seat. It might be a safe Republican seat. But the point is that there were a lot of people who were surprised in the Virginia race. And we're talking about the federal level, but then also on the state level. We have to, every one of us have to do something, whether we're running individually, if we're helping a campaign, if we're organizing locally, grassroots. We honestly have to wake the people up. Here's the other thing that we practically can do. That is, I don't know how practical it is, but it absolutely has to be done. And this is not to self-promote, because I don't even, well, I'm not gonna say that out loud, but this is not to self-promote, but we have to fight back against stupid. And I don't know if you understand how important that is. I was watching a video, I should play it, a video of two guys arguing about whether or not if you got in water, does that make you wet? And they were having like the realest argument about that. And I'm only, you know, that example is kind of silly and funny, but it really leads into all these other stupid things. You got the rapper B.O.B. who doesn't believe in slavery because he can't see the slave ships. You got the reemergence of the flat earthers, right? And so that's like a whole realm of stupidity that that is important for us to confront, because that's like the next level of stupidity from the stupidity we see with conservatism. And I hope you can. I don't feel like I'm saying this efficiently or effectively enough, or connecting the dots enough, but I hope that you can see what I'm saying. Like there's a wave. We're moving towards idiocracy faster than the creators of the movie ever could have dreamed of. And it's not just because of Donald Trump, but it's really because of this. We're so smart on the left that we're not even able to reach people on the right. We're so smart over here that we're not able to reach people who are that are apolitical. We're so smart over here. We have all this information, but we're not able to even win against the dumbest people in the room. And so this is not about me chiding or trying to punch left. This is a really practical problem that we have, and we're losing. You know, not only are we losing to conservatives, we're losing to Democrats. We're losing, and yet we're the smartest people in the room. And the question is, I think we're just too smart for our own good, or we've gotten comfortable and happy in our circles of intellect, being the smart people in our circles of intellect, and not really doing anything outside of that. We're losing in media. We're losing in media more because they're billionaires who are willing to drop $2 or $3 million. It's no big deal to them. They're willing to drop that in conservative media, drop of a dime. I mean, for every one of my shows, you probably have 20 shows that are well funded and people are paid and they get to live luxuriously, or at least they only have to do one job and they can get some sleep. Right. While us on the left, you know, we got a handful of us. I mean, I probably can name all of us who are at least on this YouTube space. So we're losing the competition in the marketplace of ideas. More people are politically inept, but they're organized by propaganda and they're winning. We're losing that. We're losing in this media space. And those are places that we have to start winning, man. If there's any chance, those are the places that we have to start winning. And that's why it becomes disappointing when we see this is the most disillusioning, blah, I'm making shit up now at this point. This is the hardest part to digest, is when you see that level of propagandized blindness. Not only in the Democratic Party, which we've seen with some of the Russia allegations, you see a level of propagandized blindness thanks to people like Rachel Maddow, but you also see it in the left. You see it in the left. You try to challenge people to come out of their bubble of only worrying about Republicans or only worrying about Democrats, and you see some of the same type of behavior patterns where people are stuck on the same talking points that they got in the primaries. You know, so it's a holistic thing. We have to get active. We have to get into races. We have to help people run. We have to stem the tide. We have to hold back the tide in 2018. But we also have to start winning in the marketplace of ideas. And one of the reasons we're not winning in the marketplace of ideas is that our smartest people are talking to each other. They're not talking to conservatives. They're not talking to neoliberals. We're really just talking to ourselves. So that's the practical thing.